day everyone, I am Bea Andina Pagal and I am the group leader of Group 8 and we are discussing about the understanding and managing public organization, Chapter 9. This chapter and the next chapter are concerned with the people in organizations. This chapter provides a discussion of motivation in the context of public organizations, a review of the most prominent theories of work motivation. Motivation in public management. Motivation is a fundamental topic in social science. The basic research and theory show no conclusive evidence of a science of motivation. Motivation is more of a craft. Leaders draw on techniques, ideas, and insights. The constraining character of government and the political environment present challenges for motivating in the public sector. A trend focusing on human capital is evidence of a consensus of the topic's importance. The context of motivation in public organizations. The relatively complex and constraining structures in the many public organizations, including constraints on the administration of incentives. Rainey, Facer, and Bozeman, 1995, Thompson, 1989. Vague goals both for individual jobs and for the organization. A weak sense of personal significance within the organization on the part of the employees. Unstable expectations and non-cohesive collegial and work groups, all the result of preceding factors. Buchanan, 1974, 1975, Perry and Porter, 1982. People at the lower and the middle levels of public organization often becoming lost in the elaborate bureaucratic and public system, as argued by many people. The concept of work motivation. In general, work motivation refers to a person's desire to work hard and work well, and to the arousal, direction, and persistence of work in work settings. Motivation techniques are commonly used in all sectors. Theories of work motivation. One way to classify theories of work motivation is to distinguish between content and process theories. Content theories of motivation are concerned with analyzing the particular needs, motives, and rewards that affect motivation. Process theories of motivation concentrate on psychological and behavioral processes behind motivation. Distinctions can overlap and need not be taken as confining. Classification is best thought of the tool to organize characteristics of the theories.
Theories of work motivation. One way to classify theories of work motivation is to distinguish between content and process theories. Content theories of motivation are concerned with analyzing the particular needs, motives, and rewards that affect motivation. Process theories of motivation concentrate on psychological and behavioral processes behind motivation. Distinctions can overlap and need not be taken as confining. Classification is best thought of as a tool to organize characteristics of the theories. There are 4 content theories. The first one in Maslow. Hierarchy of needs. A theory in psychology proposed in its 1943 paper, A Theory of Human Motivation. It is often depicted as a pyramid consisting of 5 levels. The first lower level is associated with the most basic needs, the psychological needs. The higher needs only motivate behavior when the lower needs in the pyramid are met. Once an individual has moved upward to the next level, needs in the lower level will no longer be prioritized and no longer motivate behavior. The second one is the McGregor theory, the theory of X and Y. Theory of X is a traditional theory that assumes workers lack the capacity for self-motivation and direction, and therefore, the organization must control and direct them. The theory of Y. The theory of Y is based on Maslow's higher order needs and emphasizes considering those needs when designing organizations to make jobs more interesting and responsible. The third one is the Hertzberg theory, 2-factor theory. 2 types of factors influence motivation. Motivators. Intrinsic incentives such as interest in work, achievement, and the higher order needs. The hygiene factors. extrinsic incentives such as organizational conditions and rewards. Hygiene factors can only prevent dissatisfaction, but motivators are essential to increasing motivation. The McClelland Theory, Needs-Based Model. McClelland describes three types of motivational needs in his 1988 book, The Human Motivation: achievement motivation, authority or power motivation, affiliation motivation. The main focus is on achievement motivation, a dynamic restlessness to achieve mastery over one's environment through success at achieving goals by using one's own cunning, ability, and effort.
What is process theory? Process theory of motivation tries to explain why behaviors are initiated. This theory focuses on the mechanism by which we choose a target and the effort that we exert to hit the target. There are four major process theories: operant conditioning theories, equity theories, goal theories, and expectancy theories. Operant conditioning theory. Operant conditioning theory is the simplest of the motivation theories. It basically states that people will do those things for which they are rewarded and will avoid doing things for which they are punished. This premise is sometimes called the law of effects. Operant conditioning focuses on the learning of voluntary behaviors. The term operant conditioning indicates that learning results from our operating on the environment after we operate on the environment. Consequences result. These consequences determine the likelihood of similar behaviors in the future. Learning occurs because we do something into the environment, and environment then reacts to our action, and our subsequent behavior is influenced by this reaction. Equity theory. Equity theory states that motivation is affected by the outcome we receive from our inputs compared to the outcome and input of other people. This theory is concerned with the reaction people have to outcomes they receive as part of a social exchange. According to equity theory, our reaction to the outcomes we receive from others depends both on how we value those outcomes in an absolute sense and the circumstances surrounding the result. Equity theory suggests that our reaction will be influenced by our perception of the inputs provided in order to receive this outcome. Even more important is our comparison of our input to what we believe others receive for their inputs. Goal theory. Goal theory states that people will perform better if they have difficulty specific, accepted performance goals or objectives. The first and most basic premise of goal theory is that people will attempt to achieve those goals that they intend to achieve. Thus, we intend to do something, we will exert effort to accomplish it. Without such goal, our effort at the task required to achieve the goal is less. This means that people without goals are unmotivated. It simply means that people with goals are more motivated. The intensity of their motivation is greater and they are more directed. The second basic premise is that difficult goals result in better performance than easy goals. This does not mean that difficult goals are always achieved, but our performance will usually be better when we intend to achieve harder goals. Expectancy theory. Expectancy theory posits that we will exert much effort to perform at high level so that we can obtain valued outcome. It is the motivation theory that many organizational behavior researchers find most intriguing. In so small part because it's currently also the most comprehensive theory.
Expectancy theory, more implication for managers. Valence managers must understand what individual value. Expectancy if expectations are based on confidence and ability. Instrumentality performance requires that managers come through. Bandura Social Learning Theory. Theory is developed by Albert Bandura and others. Theory grows from behavior modification, but puts greater emphasis on internal cognitive processes like goals and a sense of self-efficacy. Theory gives attention to forms of learning and behavior changes that may not be tied to external environment. Social learning theory. A main claim that individuals learn in ways other than through extra reinforcement, including modeling behavior of others, vicarious experience, mental rehearsal, and imagery. Edwin Locke and colleagues goal setting theory. Theory simply states that difficult goals lead to higher performance than easy goals, no goals, or vague goals. Commitment to the goals and feedback are also necessary to performance. How do goals affect behavior? Goals may affect behavior by direct attention, intensify effort, intensify persistence. Assignment of difficult goals enhances performance because goals appeal to motive and desire to achieve. Goals provide a sense of purpose and create standards for evaluating performance.
Recommendations for goal setting. Empower employees to develop strategies and tactics for achieving goals. Goal setting requires effective leadership. Feedback stimulates the accomplishment of goals. People should be committed to goals. The manager should be stressed that the goals are important. Beware of goal overload. Miss qualitative and quantitative goals.